today we are going to have a presentation by Amin. You will hear about the news that tested Amin to the core and his journey back. You'll hear 3 simple tasks that he conquered that demonstrate the importance of hope and persistence. He hopes you will leave the meeting with a sense of urgency to live life to the fullest, and with a refreshed look at how hope and persistence can help you overcome things you never thought you could. If you guys didn't know, Amin had sort of blood cancer a couple years back. So his talk will be about how he overcame that, and he'll be sharing how he his journey and what he learned from it. So help us welcome Amin.
Thank you, Amanda. Imagine one morning waking up, unable to walk, talk, drink a cup of coffee, have your breakfast, or start your daily routine. How devastating it would be for you if all of a sudden you cannot do anything. Probably you have a spouse or children to support and work and do your part, but without any warning, this ability is taken away. I experienced a similar situation after surviving a blood cancer, which resulted several severe strokes 9 years ago. And I found hope and persistence were the most essential elements in helping me during these difficult times. Dear H2O volunteers and most welcome guests and our seniors. I graduated from McMaster University with a PhD in materials, science, and engineering back in 2011. I had started a postdoctoral fellowship with McMaster, and I had interviews with organizations like MIT and General Electric. Just a few months after graduating and starting my new career, I had to fight my blood cancer and the resulting strokes. Luckily, the cancer was fully cured, but the strokes took away my life. In less than a week, I lost everything. I could not walk, I could not talk, I could not write, I could not even swallow without choking. It was like a rebirth. At the age of 33, I needed to start over. Imagine needing to relearn how to write. Imagine needing to relearn how to type. Imagine needing to relearn how to talk. I needed to relearn all of this and even more. At the beginning, I could not believe the bitter reality that had turned my life upside down, and the fact that I could not do so many things that I had taken for granted before my strokes. I was in complete denial. Soon after, I realized that the only way for me to improve is by being persistent, being self-aware, and being realistic. And tonight, I want to share with you 3 examples to highlight the importance of persistence. Example number 1, my writing. Directly after my strokes, I could not even draw a straight line, never mind writing a letter or sentence. As you can see, back in 2011, when I had the stroke, I could not write the straight line. And back in 2012, I started to practice writing the straight line. You cannot believe me how excited I was for the first time when I could draw a straight line. I could not even hold to a pen and I could not hold on to a pen and just drop it down. And when I was practicing my writing, still I can remember, it was that frustrated that on many occasions I broke down, I cried, I said, why? I threw the pen across the room and I stopped practicing. But after a while, I calmed down, I go and pick up the pen and continue practicing. This is a quote from Robert Frost, which helped me to continue my focus when I was practicing by writing. It says, 2 roads diverge in a wood. And I chose the one less traveled by, and it had made all the differences. Example number 2 is my typing. One of the biggest challenges for me after my strokes was typing, because before the strokes, I could type, but after my strokes, my typing speed was awful, because for each letter and number, I needed to look at the keyboard, find the letter and number, and type it one by one. I know in order to become faster, I needed to learn how to type without looking at the keyboard. As you can imagine, it was very frustrating. And to be honest, at the beginning, I cheated a lot. So because I tended to look at the keyboard and find the letters and numbers, and I could not take off my eyes from the keyboard. So I covered my keyboard with a piece of cloth so I cannot see the letters and numbers and I cannot cheat. It took me 5 years until I learned how to type again, but I did it. I was hopeful and I was persistent enough when I did it. Now I enjoy typing without looking at the keyboard, and my typing speed going up day by day. The last but not the least is Toastmasters. One of the biggest challenges that I encountered after my strokes was speaking confidently. In contrast to before my strokes, when I would go to national and international conferences, where I gave presentation to as many as 200 people. But after my strokes, my confidence collapsed, and I said, I cannot do public speaking anymore. After 7 years struggling with this fact, I joined Toastmasters. I took on speaking projects and I regained my confidence. Toastmaster was and still is very important to me. It's a safe environment for me to speak without feeling judged. That's how I got here today. What about you? Is there anything in your life getting in the way of our goals? It does not have to be anything as dangerous and serious as a stroke. It could be your job. It could be any course when you're taking in school. It could be exam. It could be a relationship which is not working out. How are you going to achieve your goals? I humbly suggest you remember these two words: hope and persistence.